Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel, where I'm continuing my Week 17 previews and predictions. I've done several Week 17 previews so far, so be sure to check my other videos. Subscribe to my page to get all of my sports talk videos delivered directly to your inbox. In the NFC South matchup, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will travel to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. The Falcons, obviously, with nothing left to play for, they've clinched home field throughout the playoffs. They come into this game winners of 5 of their last 6. Tampa Bay, on the other hand, has lost 4 straight coming into this finale and has looked lackluster in their last 2 losses to New Orleans. And I think a bit of a surprising loss the way they lost to St. Louis last week. But the Falcons, look, the Falcons have earned this right to sort of tune up and get ready here for the postseason. They'll have a bye next week in the wild card round, and will host a opponent in the divisional game at the Georgia Dome in 2 weeks. So look for them to, I look for them to play the first half hard like normal, and then slowly start to pull guys out end of the first half, beginning of the second half. I think Mike Smith has made a point of it that they want to go in with momentum to the playoffs. And remember, they do have next week off. All right, so we're not in a situation where, these wild card teams that have clinched something, this is kind of like their de facto week off if they already have their seeding in place. Where Atlanta, I expect them to play their starters a little bit longer than you think, but still, especially on the offensive side of the ball, some of the big weapons they have, look for them to start to come out towards the, again, end of the first half, beginning of the second half. But Atlanta, look, they had a disappointing loss to Carolina and they've rebounded nicely with impressive wins against the Giants and the Lions. Atlanta's been the most impressive team in the NFC all season. Still, people have their doubts about Atlanta, and it's all about that first playoff game for them. I've been saying that for weeks. If you've been listening to my previews, their season all boils down to that first playoff game. How do they perform what is now going to be 2 weeks from now at home? As far as Tampa Bay goes, Tampa Bay is a team that, to be honest, I kind of expected them to play out the string hard, sort of like St. Louis has been. I thought that Greg Schiano was getting his message across, and that this team will come out and play hard. I'm not sure if it's that they're not selling out and playing hard, or if just the quarterback play has been so terrible. Their defense and quarterback was to blame against the Saints. But last week, Josh Freeman was awful. I think at the beginning of the season, if you looked at Josh Freeman's numbers, his touchdown to interception ratio was good, but his completion percentage was a lot lower than you'd expect for someone with that many touchdown passes. And I think now we're seeing that even out, where he's turning the ball over more. And he's the kind of guy where, I think the fact that he plays in Tampa helps him a little bit, because I think if he was in a bigger market, he'd be under a lot more scrutiny than he is now. I look at him being a notch above Mark Sanchez, and that's really it. They were drafted in the same class. I know he's better than Sanchez, but just a notch above Sanchez. And let's face it, as far as winning big games, he's less accomplished than Sanchez is. But that's for another sports talk video here. I look for Tampa though to be playing against mostly the Atlanta second team here for all the second half, and for maybe even a portion of the first half. So I look for their offense to sort of be forced to play better here in the season finale. It is a division rival game for them. They did have a very heartbreaking 1-point loss to Atlanta at the end of November, which kind of started the Bucs on this downward trend they're on. So I'll take the Buccaneers +3 on the road in the season finale here against Atlanta, who's not playing for much. So again, the Tampa Bay +3 on the road against Atlanta. Be sure to check out my other previews here for Week 17. There are about 10 or 11 games that matter as far as playoff positioning goes, and I've already previewed those, so be sure to check them out. Subscribe to my page, and you can always catch me on Twitter, @SNewsAnalysis. Thanks, guys.